Good morning and welcome to KidNuz. I'm Kim. Today is Wednesday, October 14th, 2020. And we begin with an invention sure to get attention. Engineer, YouTube star, and Star Wars fan James Hobson says he's created the first ever real-life working lightsaber. It wasn't easy. Hobson and his team had to safely capture a beam of plasma, add propane and oxygen, then safely send them all through a specialized nozzle. Want color in that contraption? A dash of table salt turns the light yellow, boric acid makes it green, and strontium chloride red. Not only does it look pretty amazing, but it's reportedly also functional. It extends and retracts on command and burns at 4,000 degrees, hot enough to slice through steel. Count on that being the focus of their next video, proving that what they've built is more than just some Jedi mind trick. We're now just 20 days until Election Day, and early voting totals so far are smashing records. According to data from the U.S. Elections Project, more than 10 million ballots have already been cast, compared to just 1.5 million by this time in 2016. Some were mailed in, others counted through in-person early voting, which kicked off in Texas yesterday and Georgia on Monday, where technical glitches and long lines left some people waiting for more than 9 hours. Why the rush? Many people are choosing to vote early this time around to avoid crowds and COVID on Election Day. 2 vaccine makers are reporting trouble in their trials. Yesterday, Eli Lilly paused its coronavirus antibody drug process due to a safety concern. No further information was given. That news came just hours after Johnson & Johnson temporarily pulled the plug on one of its trials, reportedly because of an illness among one of its participants. It's not yet known if the person's sickness has anything to do with COVID, or even whether the participant had been given the real drug or a placebo. Scientists say pauses in trials are common. They just don't usually get this much attention. Early this morning, a NASA astronaut and 2 Russian cosmonauts blasted off en route to a cosmic celebration. The trio launched in a Soyuz capsule from the country of Kazakhstan and were expected to dock at 4:52 a.m. Eastern Time. They'll be spacebound for a total of 6 months. But the big milestone comes early in their mission. On November 1st, the crew will help celebrate 20 years of continuous human presence on board the International Space Station. In other celestial news, 8 nations yesterday signed the Artemis Accords, which is a set of rules outlining exploration of the moon. Those in agreement: the U.S., Australia, Canada, Japan, Luxembourg, Italy, the United Kingdom, and the United Arab Emirates. It's day 3 in front of the Senate Judiciary Committee for Supreme Court nominee Amy Coney Barrett. Yesterday was a marathon, with the judge facing up to 11 hours of questioning on some very important topics. But it wasn't all heavy. When Democrat Dianne Feinstein praised Judge Barrett for her well-behaved children, she responded like many moms, "I have eyes in the back of my head." And as far as her magic formula for juggling parenting and a rigorous career, quote, "It's improv." Generally, Democrats disagree with Judge Barrett's conservative views and adamantly oppose the timing of her nomination. The nominee admits the process so far has been excruciating, and that for the sake of her mental health, she is on a self-imposed media blackout. Your favorite musicians will light up the stage, separate but together tonight. The COVID-delayed Billboard Music Awards airs at 8 from the Dolby Theater in Los Angeles. Post Malone leads the pack with 16 nominations. He's followed by Lil Nas X with 13. Billie Eilish and Khalid are tied with 12. Performances are expected from Demi Lovato, BTS, Garth Brooks, and Bad Bunny, amongst others. And that's it for KidNuz this morning. Now, our KidNuz quiz. What Hollywood prop has an engineer reportedly created for real? A Star Wars lightsaber. How many ballots have already been cast in the November election? Reportedly more than 10 million. How many vaccine makers have had to pause their coronavirus trials? 2. Eli Lilly and Johnson & Johnson. What postponed ceremony takes place tonight? The Billboard Music Awards. In One for the Road, 2 new records from the animal kingdom. First, a bird officially known as a godwit and unofficially called a jet fighter because of its aerodynamic design, just flew from Alaska to New Zealand without stopping. That's a distance of 7,500 miles in 11 days. A new world record confirmed by a satellite tracker on its leg. And to Florida, 1 scaly inch. That's the difference between a now dethroned monster python and the new record-holding reptile caught in the Everglades. All stretched out, the Burmese behemoth measured a mind-boggling 18 feet 9 inches nose to tail. Trappers head into the swamps every year to round up and remove reptiles that don't belong. There is no exact number as to how many pythons are currently slithering around Florida, but some experts believe the number is in the tens or even hundreds of thousands. Before we go, it's time for today's KidNuz shoutouts. First, a big hello to our fabulous teachers. Mrs. Alvarez and her class at Van Wert Elementary in Van Wert, Ohio, and to the teaching team of Mrs. Deepa, Mrs. Rizzo, and Miss Scheit at Lake Prairie in Lowell, Indiana. And we send birthday greetings to Rohan in Mission Viejo, California, Bergen in Olympia, Washington, to Michigan for Virginia in Plymouth and Hannah in Wyoming, Casey in Smyrna, Georgia, Sammy in Kansas City, Missouri, Hattie in Oxford, Mississippi, Matilda in Kingwood, Texas, Munu in Mumbai, India, Ezra in Memphis, Tennessee, and Clara in Falls Church, Virginia. Thanks for listening, everyone, and we'll see you back here for more KidNuz tomorrow morning.